Can I start? Hello?
Yes, please start.
Yes,
Anin.
yes. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Lina Muhammad. I'm a Sudanese. I'm a producer, film producer, and TV producer. Work now at Abu Dhabi Network in Abu Dhabi. Uh, just I don't have anything.
Nice to
This
meet you,
good?
Anin.
I would like,
It's perfect. Nice to meet you, Anin.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
why you are not showing your face, or we would like to see you, Anan, if it's
Anin,
possible.
yes,
Hello,
exactly.
yeah, hello, yeah, welcome. We can say welcome. Yeah.
Exactly. Nice to see you, Anin. Okay, Rahab, go ahead.
Yeah. Rihab Al-Ghatrifi. I'm working as a Egyptian director in the national Egyptian TV, and actually I'm very interested in festival, and I wish to have a we did this with William and Octave. Say in the program of film festival in the AUCSCE from a couple of months ago, but it will be very excited to know more from you, Anna. So we are listening now.
Bravo,
Okay,
Rahab.
that's all.
Bravo, Rahab. Okay, Ibrahim.
Hi, I'm heard. Yes, I'm Ibrahim Imam. I'm Ibrahim Imam. I'm a producer and writer, and I was graduated from the first cycle of the film certificate with Dr. Mariam in AUC. So I'm very happy to be with you again, and every time.
More than this. You are more than this, but okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Ibrahim. Nashwa?
Hello, hi. I am Nashwa. I graduated from Institute of Cinema in Cairo from 2007. And briefly, I worked a lot in different experiences, like in TV programs and as assistant director in advertising and short movies and short movie. And now I'm in the journey for festivals journey. I did an internship in Passager International Film Festival after had a certificate of film industry business with Mariam and Octave. And then I was selected as pre-selectors into festivals, a Migrant Film Festival and the Sunrise Film Festival. And I'm working with them right now, but I finished my task just a week ago or 10 days ago, Sunrise Film Festival. And I'm so glad for this experience, and I want to continue this as my job later.
Thank you so much, Nashwa. Samar, please. There ما فيش صوت يا سمر. There is no sound. Mute أو حاجة. انت عاملة ميوت دلوقتي انت ميوت. لو اعملي بس ميوت. لا مش سامعينك. طب اعمليها كده. طب فيكسد كده يا سمر ونشوف ناتالي. Natalie, can you please briefly introduce yourself? You are muted. You are muted, Natalie. You are muted.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Nice to meet you all. I'm Natalie Tamer. I'm a filmmaker from Egypt. And a brief introducing for me that I'm graduated from Mr. International University in 2023 from يعني faculty of mass communication majoring in radio and television. I'm graduated with honor, and from since I graduated يعني I'm starting to move on to the journey of being director, because this is the position that I found myself that it will be my life يعني for a long life يعني. And I'm so happy to be with you today.
Nice to meet you, Natalie, and nice to see you. And I'm so happy to see our old students from not so old, but our students and friends and colleagues from the Film Industry Business Certificate that took place in the summer, and also our newcomers that are here that will be in the second cohort, like Natalie, Summer, Anen, and for now, those are the three that were us now. And Anna Marie, I give you the floor now. And maybe before I give you the floor, let's all open our cameras, take a screenshot with this meeting, and then we can start. What do you think? Anen, can you open your camera for 1 second? And Samar? Okay, who can take the screenshot? Because I'm using Octave's. Huh?
I did the screenshot.
You did? Okay. Okay. I am trying. This is not my my laptop, but let me try.
I will send it on.
Okay, but we all look now. Okay, we all look now. Okay.
Okay.
Done. Actually, I can touch this. All right. So, Anna, they are all yours. Love you all. Today is, let me know, Anna, if you want me to share the presentation. Do you want me to start the presentation now? But let me know. Give me a cue.
Of course. Just 1 second. So, Shokron, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, to meet you all. It is very nice to have the opportunity to talk. I have to admit first, I kept talking to Mariam about her students and about her colleagues until yesterday evening, when she gave me a short bio of every one of you, which panicked me a little bit, because we are all professionals. We should have the discussion amongst colleagues, not as a masterclass. So I rewrote the whole presentation, and I really would want to keep this so-called masterclass more as an opening and a partner up kind of networking type of debriefing and of an open conversation that hopefully will be very, very helpful for all of you, just to keep on moving on in your careers in Europe. And as we heard in the United States, Sundance, you will see I also introduced Sundance in my presentation, because it's an important point of interest. And I would like to talk about innovation, because this is what I kept doing for the past 10 years. And now you can start the presentation meanwhile, and I will keep on talking, but I would like to keep it interactive. So please stop me at any point if at a slide you have questions. Let's keep it as open as possible. I introduced discussions between the subjects, because it's a lot of information, and I want to have feedback on each and every point.
Oh, thank you.
Did you start the presentation? Yes.
Can you see the presentation or no? See the presentation?
Yeah, we can see the presentation.
Okay.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Okay. I would love to see it as well, but I'm not. I don't know why. Let me see.
Okay, just want to make sure if my voice is heard now.
Yes, now we can hear you just fine.
Okay, thank you.
Anna, can you see the presentation or no?
No, I cannot see it, but I think it's because of something that I am doing wrong. So
No, let me try again. Okay.
but if they can see it, it's perfect. So
Now it's
yes, I can see it.
okay, very good. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so let's skip the part where you present me because I already did that. So we can move on to more important things. It is very nice that we have professionals from the TV, from the national network from Egypt. Also, we have filmmakers, so the discussion can be on more pillars than I expected, which is really nice. So how I see the innovation in the film industry, I will not enter in topics that are basic and that you already know everything about. So that's not the purpose to make an introduction. You don't need an introduction. Let's talk about specific things that can help you move on with your particular direction. And where my input comes in, it's at the directions of innovation. So we can talk about tools, we can talk about sustainability, about accreditation, about all the pillars that can be really, really helpful in the present times of the film industry. So I would like to position as a peer-to-peer executive conversation. So this is not a lecture. And I would like to emphasize that innovation today is about governance, pipelines, and long-term value. So I would like to invite you again to actively challenge all these assumptions. We will talk about producers, filmmakers, programmers, festivals, how we can reach them, sustainable production, and then the new production models, AI, VR, AR, and XR. I would like to stop for a longer time for explaining specific problems with the XR, where I identified, especially at the European level, some misunderstandings about the XR world. And in the same time, you will see I would like to challenge you a little bit in terms of sustainability and how this works at the European level or at the US level, because models and tools are very different, and you should know how to work with these tools and what to choose when you start a production. So according to a presentation, I will not read it, but we can start talking about development, production, experience, and then also with Miriam, we can talk about distribution and a deep dive in sustainability and operational excellence, and then the XR case studies, governance for AI, because here we have a problem, rights and pipeline integration. And then we added these 4 facilitated professional discussions that I'm going to stop upon. Now, innovation map where value is created. We have development, IP strategy, audience insights, financing signals, which is important, production. Here we can talk about virtual production, remote pipelines, sustainability, and of course, cost control. Post and distribution, what it means, localization, accessibility, and versioning at scale. And then the experience layers, VR, AR, and MR, live interactive venues and festivals that are dedicated to this type of tools. Where I would like to put you a first question. Where do you invest the most? Versus where do you invest the least? Because this is something that it's going to come up constantly all through the meeting today. So what do you consider that is your biggest investment when you start producing a movie or a TV show or a short or a documentary? And what is the costal part that you can let it behind because it's not getting the biggest part of your budget?
Who would like to start? We have two. We have
You're
two.
talking
Yes.
budget-wise, or you're speaking
Yes.
budget-wise, or?
Now I would like just to know your input on a budget scale. What is the biggest investment on your budget and what is the lowest?
If I understand it correctly, the balance sheet of the film funding, mainly with me here in Egypt, it depends on the type of the projects. If it's a commercial film, normal commercial film, usually it's stars and places and technology and setup and technology and the stars mainly. They take the biggest part of the balance sheet, they can say, above the line, mostly above the line. But in art house films, it's different based on the project. Sometimes the most part of investment is going to the set or the new techniques new technologies that we need to emphasize the vision of the director, the creator of the film. Usually, it's not the stars and distribution and the post. One of the things is very important, is very significant here in art scene in Egypt, is that we are looking forward to funding the post production because usually it included a very a high value in artistic feeling that usually is not important for the commercial. In commercial, we just looking, okay, it's nice. In commercial, we are looking most for visuals. But in art scene and art house films, it's more all the aspect, even the sound. And as long as we don't have a very good investment in sounds inside Egypt, so this is usually also take a good part of my balance sheet toward the film. That's what I mean. I hope I can understand the question right.
Yes. And also, you can think about the question on these four pillars, which is development, production, post and distribution, and experience layers. So you can think about this because you will see further on.
Yes.
We can see how innovative tools like VR or AR can substitute precisely where you have the biggest budget problems. And this way, you can somehow adapt your production.
Okay, we have Nefra. She wants to say something.
It's different layers, yes.
As I want to know, as a filmmaker or as a producer, I want to say the right answer because I think it depends if I'm a producer or I'm a director, right?
Of course, there are different perspectives.
Yes, because I will respond as director because I'm not a producer. If I want to have the most cost for or investment for the movie, I think for my side to be the distribution because if it will not be distributed well, even in B-list festivals or short or mini festivals, it will not be so well known because if it will not accepted in A-list like Cannes, Berlin, Venice. So I think, for my opinion, and I heard this from a lot of masterclasses from many producers that had their movies in Cannes before, they told us, if you cannot distribute it in these festivals, sometimes it will be more effective it will if it will be distributed in other mini festivals in a lot of in regions like Europe, London, or England, or Middle East mini festivals more than A-list. But I don't know if it's right or not because I don't have this experience. But if it will be the less cost, I don't know, because I think I want more cost in production to be a good movie. I want more in development, maybe more than the production. I don't know. Maybe when I edit the movie after I have a lot of problems, maybe in production, I didn't have this cost for a nice audio settings, for example, so I will do it in editing. I don't know, but I think the most maybe the distribution, but I don't know if it's right or not. Thank you.
Shukran. There are no wrong and right answers. I just want to get your perspective from everyone because there are very different. So you have your own perspective as a filmmaker, you have a different perspective as a producer. But at the end of the day, the film industry, it's about teamwork. We cannot do it without each other. So even for a film director, it's very important to understand the producer's point of view, because at the end of the day, we depend on the money and we have to use our finances as good as possible, because otherwise our commune baby, which is the film, it's not going to be raised upright. And our commune goal is to have a good movie that is seen by as many people as possible, because that is what we are fighting for, actually. Are there others who would want to address the question, or we can go on and keep on adding to the discussion? Okay, so we can move on with the sustainable production part.
Yes.
So what I would like to say about sustainability. I just participated at a big theater conference in Riga in Latvia, because in the Europe, all festivals now are turning green, theater festivals, also film festivals. So this is an asset. If you can prove your interest in green filmmaking, it started to become a plus also to be selected in festivals. And also it's a very, very interesting topic for conferences, for open discussions, for roundtables. So I think this is a discussion that deserves a little bit of attention, because now sustainability is not a funder, an insurer. It's more like an audience expectation that needs to be filled. You need to think about sustainability when you do your risk management, your cost control, and think about the reputational capital. This is the main plus that sustainability brings you. And we have a lot of examples from the European Union, but also from the United States. And now more and more Asia starts to come up with a very, very powerful sustainability issue when we talk about the film industry. So now here we have, again, 4 pillars. I don't know why I kept thinking in multiple of 4s. So we have the governance that talks about policy, targets, reporting, and supplier requirements. Then we have the cost and risk, where we have to think about fuel, volatility of energy, waste disposal. These are things that we usually don't think about so profoundly, because the producer knows what he has to do, but in the same time, when the filmmaker asks for very difficult tasks, then sometimes the producer has his hands tied down. And here at the cost and risk, think about the reputational risk, because that is not only an asset, it can become a liability. During operations, you have to think about travel, power, materials, catering, and logistics. All these very important production pillars can be sustainable, can become green. And it's very interesting because becoming more and more green, actually, it's a very good cost efficiency tool. Sometimes becoming green might cost you less. And production-wise, this is important from the money point of view. And then you have creative choices: location, schedule, set buildings versus digital. Going with the sets digitally, it's a green option. And also, it helps you with the wardrobe strategy. Now, we have three big
May
tools.
I ask, sorry?
Yes.
Is it related to the previous point? Because I feel after I answer that you was mentioning the AR and AI and all the new tools to maximizing the investment in the film sector. Is that what you mean? The previous slide?
At the operation part?
No, I mean the previous slide when you was asking us about what are the biggest investment that you finished.
Oh, no, that was just an introduction because I wanted to know your position as a film specialist, depending on your frame of work. If you're a producer or a filmmaker, where are your soft points? Where do you feel that you spend most of the money? And where is that point where you can think about, okay, I want to make a movie in the desert. So I don't need set design. I don't need a lot of investment because I already have the desert. It's there. So from that point of view, that is my least budgetal problem because I will not invest in the set design. But as you just said, which was right, I will always have the problem of sound, of equipment. And if I go to the desert, I need to take in consideration all the other operational costs where we are now about travel, power. How can you have so many generators in the desert or so on?
Yes. And when we are talking about the film industry, we're talking about the conventional film scene, the 90 minutes feature film. Because when you mention Asia, like you mentioned Asia, we have now a billion industry called the vertical microdrama. So you consider that in the same film, or you're especially speaking about the conventional cinema that we know, the feature length film?
I'm speaking more about the conventional part and how they can be replaced by digital or innovative tools that can help you out to get sustainability.
Yeah.
So that is the direction I'm trying to take you.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting.
No problem, please. If you have any type of questions, but you will see I will try to answer point by point.
Okay.
I choose frameworks and tools used internationally, and this already answers you the direction I'm trying to take you. I am not so familiar about Asia, so I didn't make the research on that part of the world because it was too much. I documented 3 very safe directions, the UK and Europe, which means BAFTA Albert tools and certifications, BFI sustainability standards and roles. Then we have the US, the Green Production Guide, and the PGA best practices. You should read about EMA Green Seal. And then France developed EcoProd, it's the name, and Carbon Clap, Carbon Accounting and Guides. So in Europe and the States, these are the 3 main sustainability tools that are working in your benefit because they also give certifications and they can give you a whole lot of stuff. I know this is a lot of information, but I would like to if you want, this is that part of the masterclass. I would like to take you out to a more profound discussion about sustainability, just for you to understand the differences of these three. Mariam, can you go back to these three tools, framework and tools used internationally? So these are the three big pillars. Please stay here on this slide because I will try to explain precisely what the advantages of these particular three directions are, where they mix together, and also where they start to be very different. So BAFTA Albert versus EcoProd versus Green Production Guide. First, you always have to think about what problem are you trying to solve. Before comparing tools, decision makers should be clear about why they need one of these tools. At leadership level, sustainability frameworks usually serve one or more of these goals: compliance and eligibility. And this is very important because, especially at the European, but also at the US level, they are required by funders, broadcasters, and also by the public bodies. When you do the risk management, you have the reputational risk, the insurer expectations, the SEG reporting. You also have operational efficiency, cost control, travel reduction, and energy planning. Market positioning, festival credibility, broadcaster trust, international co-production, internal change, standardizing behavior across departments and slates. Each framework optimizes a different goal. And now we are entering in the specific frameworks and also the differences and the things that they have in common. So BAFTA Albert UK. Did any one of you heard about these tools I am talking about? Are you familiar with any of them?
No, I think we should go through them one by one because we also have the newcomers that we did not go through all of this. So just to simplify things.
Okay, so this is exactly why I want to stop at this slide, because I want very briefly to explain to you what each and every pillar does. Okay?
Okay.
So,
Yes, please.
BAFTA,
Yes, okay.
BAFTA Albert. This is UK and international broadcasters. What it really is, this is a decision level type of tool. Albert is a broadcaster-facing certification and behavior change system. It is not just a calculator. It's strongest where broadcaster or public funders require it. So if you have a broadcaster or a public funder that needs a certificate, then BAFTA Albert is for you. Reputational visibility matters.
Give us an example, please, Anna, like from experience, like a case study or an example. When do we need to use this tool or to be certified? Just to make sense out of this more.
So all these tools are used at all European and US levels for green certificates. There are a lot of festivals who start to ask for this type of going green type of sustainability accreditations. And these are the main three bodies that can offer you that. That's why I'm saying it's not about a calculator, but it works as a calculator, because if you are working with their mindset, you can calculate your budget, you can make your full production based on sustainability tools. But after that, if you are compliant, they can also certify your production as being sustainable.
Even if my production has no any relation with sustainability or nature or CO emissions, or it's a
Yes,
normal project.
yes, it is a tool. It is a certifying tool. You don't have to have
Yes.
a green production. This is a confusion. Sustainable doesn't necessarily mean green. You don't have to have a production filmed in a forest, or you have to talk about the problems of the world. No,
Yeah.
you need to show them your good intent. I am trying to cut power loss. I am working with green energy. I use solar panels.
Okay.
So this is a tool that helps you production-wise.
Nashwa, sorry, Anna. Sorry, we have Nashwa raised her hand. Please, if you want to add a comment or a question, raise your hand. So Nashwa.
Just a quick question to understand, to follow. It's just like an example, a fundraiser for green, like you.
No.
They me.
No. It is not a fundraiser. It's a calculator. You use it as a tool. When as a producer, when you need to make a budget, you need exactly where to cut, where to add, how to move the money during and inside your budget, right?
Yes.
You have a lot of help from the European Union and for the US if you use green tools. These green tools are there to help you. Green energy, solar panels, power, gas. If you use electric cars instead of
gas or gasoline,
gas or so on. If you use recycle costumes, you don't. That is also something. And what these tools are helping you out with, it's that they can certify you. They can give you a plus that can help you fundraise, because you have an extra tool. You can go to the BAFTA Awards, or you can go to the festival in Berlin and say, my movie, it's BAFTA certified. We made it with a very small carbon print. And festivals are very up to date in these issues, and they think about it more and more.
For the environment, and they want to get it in movies too, to work with.
Yes.
I understand it. Thank you.
Okay, so I can move on with explaining BAFTA. Okay, so going on with the BAFTA, Albert. Core characteristics. It has a carbon calculator and a certification tier. A mandatory action plan, strong language for non-technical stakeholders, strategic strengths, high credibility with broadcasters. So they all are accepted by BBC, Channel 4, Sky, and so on. All the public funders in the UK ask for BAFTA Albert certification. So if you want to fundraise in the UK, you need to talk to BAFTA. Festivals for public accountability, certification in communicable like logo, label, and PR, it is a plus. And also it has its strategic limitations, like UK-centric logic and terminology, less granular for deep production optimizations. It has less flexible for experimental or hybrid formats. I'm saying this because you will see that the US model and the French one are much more open for intersectoral collaborations, and they give out easily the certificates, which BAFTA Albert doesn't do. So from this point of view, the UK type of certification, it's much more rigid. And now a very good question on this subject is, because you made very good questions as well. Do we need something of this level for our founders, for our finances, to immediately recognize and trust? So do you think it's important to have this type of tool that you can put on your production logo and the founders can immediately recognize and trust?
You mean yes or no?
Yes. Is it important? So do you see the necessity of it?
I seen as a necessity. I think the necessity would be with the European partners. If I'm gonna, but here in the Middle East, it's not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the local festivals or funders recognize that so much. I don't have or at least an experience I go through with my friends around me and working that they taking funds from Red Sea, Saudi Arabia, or Egypt, or things. I didn't heard from them about anything significant, but I heard a lot of that with the European funders. So I think it's very essential. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially before and after Trump. I wish. Yeah.
This is also very
nowadays
good if you are thinking in co-production. So if you want to work with
yes, of course. That's
big
what
houses in Europe, then it's good to know about these things.
Of course, yes.
So now EcoProd or Carbon Clap, this is France and EU co-production. So boom. So what does Carbon Clap do? It's a carbon accounting, emission tracking, production logistics, strong alignment with all the European Union climate policy language. It has a lot of strategic strengths, high analytic depth, so it can calculate everything instead of you, and you don't have to bother with all these things. It's excellent for co-production, exactly what I was telling you about European partners, so ideal for co-production. It has the most amazing detailed reporting system, so you have all the reports in real time, internal optimization, and it is respected and required by CNC, European institutions, sustainability consultants, strategic limitations, but it's less as a brand recognition outside Europe. So outside Europe, people don't really know about it. So if you want to use it, it's for European partners, and it's very, very smart as a calculator and as a production assistant, if you want. And then we have Green Production Guide. This is the US one. Yes?
Sorry, I raised my hands. I'm sorry.
Please.
You mentioned, is it become an essential for CNC? If I don't have that, I wouldn't be accepted in such a thing. So even if I have a co-producer, a French co-producer?
You are accepted. It's not a problem of being accepted. It's about how you're seen and how you are accepted. Because if you have all these tools, there are a plus. Of course, if you already...
It's not an essential. It's not an essential.
No.
To be accepted.
So I am not talking about anything that it's essential. Now we are discussing about excellence.
I misunderstood about CNC.
Yeah. Let's say I was thinking about how I can use all my knowledge to present you all the things that on a European or on a global level can help you become exceptional. It's not about being accepted. It will be accepted, but if you have all these tools, you can jump some stairs. You know, if you are at this specific level and you make a co-production with a European, let's say, Italian production house, and you already know these things, you can jump the conversation very fast to a certain level that you wouldn't get to if you don't know these issues.
Thanks.
And the last pillar is
from Nashwa. I don't know if you notice when people raise their hands, so you can actually decide.
No, I cannot see. I'm watching three screens in.
Okay, so Nashwa, a comment. Okay.
Yes, just to understand, it's I will use these tools from BAFTA, Europe, and France if I had a co-producer, right, from Europe.
Yes, and also if you want, for example, to film in one of the European countries.
Okay, thank you.
Then it would be very helpful for you to know all these things, even if you don't have or you don't need a co-producer, because you can already do it yourself.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
Please, can I add something?
Please.
I feel like it has to become a decision from myself to be sustainable, to be to work as a green environment, and not just use it as a tool to fundraise in Europe and others. Am I right?
Everything has to start from your own personal perspective. These are just logistics, if you want, that can be very helpful. Of course, if you believe in them and you can take 80% out of it in your advantage, then it's a very good thing for you. But you are not obliged to do anything.
Do they think about this? If it's,
yes,
it's just
it is
I'm using it as a tool, so they can think about it. Yeah.
Like in the past 2 years, all the conferences I attended from Europe, United States to China, it is the main subject. From 3 conferences, 2 are about going green and sustainability. It's the hottest subject worldwide in the present. It's not something that we are obliged to implement, but the world is going in that direction. And when I'm thinking about innovation,
yeah, for sure.
Not only in the film industry, I work a lot in theater, in the theater production. So I'm a producer and I'm thinking intersectorially. And that's why when I really wanted to present you the innovation tools, you cannot think about innovation if you're not very clear on where you are in the world today. And the world today has 2 very distinguished directions. It has the ecological part of it, because we destroyed our planet and now we are trying to recover somehow. It's going to be very difficult and it's going to take up the full 8 billion people. But we need to start somewhere. It's not going to be a sudden change. But if each and every producer starts to think a little bit about it, maybe recycle more, maybe use green power, green energy, everything helps. It doesn't resolve a huge deal, but it resolves a little bit.
Like when we see any hotel that is have a certificate for being a green nowadays. Hotels in
don't see being sustainable as a burden. If you start thinking about it as a change of mindset, it is very good. It is very nice, because from that point of view, you are starting to realize all the help you get, even with these calculators that I'm talking about. Because you stay as a producer, now I'm talking from the producer's point of view, you have the budget in front of you. And you see, I have to pay for 20 cars, the gas for the 20 cars, it's this much, it brings up a lot of big problems. And then you have EU funding for green electrical sustainability. And you make a contract through this certificate, and you rent out 10 buses that are electrical, and the EU gives you the money for that.
It's a win-win
You also
situation.
have, yeah, there are specific fundings for green productions. And then you use that money for distribution, you get green certificate, and the Venice Festival and the Berlin Festival will love you for that. And in the same time, using these calculators, when you have to do all the decount and all the budgeting reporting for your founders, you have a very good tool because all these calculations are made automatically. So it helps you out. You have less work to do, and you have a lot of advantages by doing it this way. And the second pillar I'm going to talk further on, because these are the main two directions that I think it's very important to talk in innovation, the part of sustainability, and then the part of innovating tool, the AI, the use of AI, and then the XR and so on. So I will, I talked a lot. I just want to finish the US. But let's move on. We already talked about an hour. Mariam, if you agree, can we give them all the presentation and also the appendixes after this discussion? So I think that will be the best for you to read it. I gave you a lot of information, because also I gave you a table with all the differences between all these three things and when you should use which one of them depending on the problem that you want to solve. So I don't want to take more of our time together upon this discussion, because I really want to move on and talk about all the AI innovative tools. But Mariam will send you out all the presentations and all the appendixes, so you will have a lot of information that maybe we can meet it up in Egypt and talk personally upon them.
Super.
If you all agree.
Super.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
So I will move on then to the next slide. Yes. And let's get a little bit deeper into the discussion. The high impact levelers. What typically moves the needle? So we have travel and mobility, rail first policies, cluster schedules, remote approvals. All those who work in movies and production know exactly what this means and how difficult they might be. Energy, grid, battery first, clean generators, power monitoring. This also it's going back to the sustainability discussion, and now you will have all the information for covering the whole energy part. Materials and sets, designed for reuse, modular builds, circular suppliers. Also very important, how we work, how we co-produce, how we reuse, how we recycle. Then food and waste, vendor clauses, donate, compost, workflows, eliminate single use. This is an issue that becomes more and more important in the industry today. And then very important, data and learning. Add these three questions upon all we discussed until now. So where do you see, after these discussions, your immediate savings? Where does your investment require immediate savings? What KPIs would you report to founders' boards? On this discussion of what I told you, what is that you think would be interesting to report to founders, like carbon, cost, travel, waste, energy? And how do you prevent sustainability from becoming a box-ticking exercise? So how can you use sustainability with the box ticking. You can choose from the questions. So each of you, if you have an input on any of these questions, I would like to hear some answers.
I think it's very hard to be in to do this in Egypt, actually, not to be box ticking for things. I think most of the projects, I have an experience as a background as an architect, so we have the same issue in architecture projects. So most projects I worked was more like what we said, bureaucrat. We just box taking things to make it and to meet the standards. But on the ground, it's very hard to explain it, especially in the filmmaking. It's a very human contact business based on human context. So we here in Egypt, I'm sorry if to distract the conversation, but we here in Egypt, we have a more significant problem toward the workers. So I'm sorry, I don't mean anything, but for them, for the majority, for the workers in the film industry behind the camera, it would be out of their scope. So so actually here we find it so hard on the ground to be real sustainable aspect, not to be just box ticking. It's too hard, and I think this is our problem now in Middle.
From your
Can I
experience
add something?
as an architect that can be used in the film industry, so can you take out something from that experience and put it here?
I'm trying. The difference between architecture, in architecture, we have the opportunity to convince people, to talk with the people, to convince people that that's what benefit them on the long run. That's what would benefit them of lowering their paying for electricity, for pollution. It's good for their kids. It's good because we built the projects for people. That was film workers. Most of them are not a full-time job. Most of them are on a project base. So they want just to do their job in a more convenient way they used to do, and then take their money and go. So to be honest, most of the time around friends I worked with, it was box ticking more than effectively on the ground. Because they feel you're a stranger when you're speaking about eliminating using paper, eliminating plastic waters, eliminating. So it's not. It's easier for some. It's easier for some. I don't want to be racist, but I mean here it's different. I don't mean any racist thing, but here it's a little bit different. Even with well-educated people, they take it as a funny joke when you're speaking about we will eliminate using plastic bottle for waters, or we will eliminate printing. We will send it through your mobile or your tabs. So to be honest, when I think of it, because we have an initiative here in Egypt that trying to establishing a green production system. But actually, most of the projects I heard from them was actually a box ticking with the European funders more than real game changer on the ground.
Let me ask you something, because this is a very interesting question. Also, digitalization, it's part of sustainability.
Yes.
Don't they think that, because I've been to Egypt and I loved Egypt and I can't wait to get back. You have very good Wi-Fi. You have very good 5G. You have internet everywhere.
Yes.
So this is also part of the sustainability, which the low-level people, drivers, workers, are much more inclusive if they get
let's give you an example.
everything on their phone.
Of course, they already did it, but let me give you an example. Very few assistants who accept or who love or like to use tablet or mobile instead of using paper. Most of them, even if they are already own a very high-tech equipment, they asking me when I was an assistant producer, Ibrahim, please give them imprints. We can't read it. This is the simplest thing I can, and give an example for that. So actually, I remember when I was actually it's a personal thing, and I was reusing the paper, the back of the white paper. I was reusing it to minimize using papers. So some of people was making fun of that. Because why you? And actually, if I'm sending this paper to a high position to the director or the main or the first assistant director, my assistant producer said to me, no, don't do this. Send them on the new papers and print it on one side. So we still as a producer we take that for box taking more than
yeah, it is difficult when you work with people. You have to comply with everybody's needs. I would like to give you a very interesting new example. It is not film related, but it can be helpful. I'm building a new hall in my theater dedicated to children's and to children's and youth performances. And it's going to be a different building. And I have two very big terraces. And I found some very high-tech artists, Austrian artists, that are also scientists. And they developed a very special paint that is thermosustainable. So on the summer, if you paint the terrace with this specific paint, the degrees on the ground are 5 to 10 degrees lower. And it is a huge invention. And now I got to make a contract funded by the European Union. So I don't have to pay for anything. The European Union pays for the paint. And the artists said that if I gave them creative freedom, they will paint it for free because it's going to remain a work of art on a long term. So I will have a very wonderful building with two painted terraces where in the summer, when are 30 degrees outside, on the ground, I will have 20 degrees without doing anything. And it is a zero cost. If you explain to people this and the advantages on a long term, it can be absolutely amazing. But
I hope so.
It is a change of mindset.
Yes.
And you have to do it slow, especially with people, when you have to work with drivers, logistics, and also the food waste. When the catering comes on set, half of the food is thrown away. If you make a contract with homeless and the same people who bring the food, take all the wasted food and take it to an elderly home, for us as producers, it doesn't mean anything. But for those people, it can be life-changing.
In Egypt, I don't think we have this problem, to be honest. I hope. I mean,
we have a huge problem with food waste.
I know.
Everything is thrown away. Okay, let's move on then. I will go back to the presentation. Production and innovation. So we have the leadership decision areas, infrastructures, workflow, people, and finances. I will jump ahead because these are all very known production things that you already know. Here, I would just add as much that position virtual production as a strategic choice, not as a magic solution. Because yes, if you are thinking about virtual sets and digitalization and all these innovative tools that you can use in your productions, it is very good if it's a choice, but don't think that they will resolve magically all your problems, because it's no such thing. That only works in Harry Potter, and it worked once. Each and every discussion, infrastructure-wise or incentive-wise, it is depending on the region. So I cannot intervene here because obviously everything is different in Egypt than in Europe or in Asia and so on. So each and every one of us need to know our specific region and how to adapt to it. And to everything that we discussed on putting all together, I gave you 3 examples that I consider them being very important. From the virtual production at scale, the best example that I found was the Mandalorian. Because of the huge LED volume workflows, everything was done in virtual reality. It was filmed with InstaPro. It was adapted in virtual sets. You can watch it in Oculus. Well, it's a Star Wars series. Everything from the graphics, from the animations, it's huge. And it's still sustainable because they used the virtual production tools. So from this point of view, yes, this is a huge production with a lot of money, but in the same time, it didn't cost like the Avatar, because they used so smart all the virtual possibilities that budget-wise, they got a very huge advantage. The second very important example is the Nomadland, because they worked perfectly with the location efficiency and the lighting. They didn't use all the equipment, all the lights, all the technicians. They worked a lot with the natural light, and the movie is superb and spectacular, but they used the sun. They filmed a lot of sunsets, sunrises, natural light. So they were so smart in choosing the location and the specific light of that location that budget-wise, they didn't use all the technical equipment that they would have used otherwise in a Hollywood production. And the third sustainable production that I wanted to present you was the Tangerine, because it has a very good aesthetics. So aesthetically, it's a very good and also awarded at Sundance and so on. And it was totally filmed by iPhone. So all they used was their phone, and then the magic happened in the editing room after that. But they didn't use all those heavy lifting, all the machines, all the travelings and so on. They managed to do an amazing movie just filming by phone.
Just a quick question, please. So they scheduling in the shooting schedule, waiting for sunrise or sunset, just to limit for limitation of I don't know how to say it in English. Like do not use a lot for LED lights or production.
Yes, they in Nomadland they didn't use any artificial light.
Yes, okay, I understand.
So they tried to be sustainable from this point of view, just to use the location and the natural lighting.
But they have the luxury, not luxury timing to wait for this day for the sunset and wait another day for the sunrise, for example, or the noon, or so they managed it like this. but not too hurry. We have a shooting for 2 weeks, only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, okay, so they have the luxury to choose.
There are choices. There are choices and choices. And you see, sometimes in the summer, we have the luxury of having more hours in a day. Other times, if you have to film in the winter, then you might have a problem because you don't have light. But
I understand. They managed it like...
It's always about choices, because if the director concentrated on the screenplay to write it from the beginning as a conscious choice to film it that way, it was clear to everybody from the beginning what are the pillars of the specific production. So it was written directly like that. Just like Tangerine was written from the beginning, how can I make a movie just with my phone? So that was the purpose. But they managed to make actually very, very good movies.
Yes, thank you.
And now for the discussions, I said like this: if you give 2 to 5 million euros over 24 months, so this is your budget for 2 years, where does it produce slate level impact? And then trade-offs: creative control versus vendor dependence versus staffing burden, how you use this amount, and what partnership model works locally. And now I give the floor to you, because I don't know the local frameworks in Egypt. How can you partner up efficiently with studios, universities, festivals, vendors, and so on? Because I don't know your structure.
Maybe Anan, if you would like to share your experience, and everyone else.
Yes, I think in the Emirates it's better considering this elements, because already Emirates has an index for a green manufacturing and green production, things like that.
That's true. We all know this. They are ahead of us, Anna. This is for sure.
Exactly.
Okay. So then we can move to the final part of...
Okay. No, sorry.
No.
I'm okay. No.
Okay. It's already quite late. I didn't expect it to go so so fast.
No, I love that. Yes.
But I am here for you, so I am not hurrying anywhere. So if you want to stick around, I think we should keep on working on it. And now we are getting to the interesting part of the presentation, because we are getting to all the innovative actual tools, the VR, the AR, the XR. And I will love to challenge you to scan these 8 QR codes. Of course, we are not going to play with it now, but you will have a lot of time to do that at home. I choose for you 8 of my favorite type of innovative tool examples, just to make you love XR more and more, and maybe use it in your movies. And help me get along to the next part of the presentation, why to use these XR, VR, AR tools in our filmmaking process. Because we have different audience, different possibilities, different financing, and different tools, which doesn't mean that we forget about cinema. No, cinema has its own place and goes ahead very nicely. But having these tools and adding them to our process, it makes things very, very rich from multiple points of view. It has exhibition formats, operational needs. You have less device fleet, staffing, safety, hygiene, accessibility, because you don't need all those things when you work with innovative tools. You don't have so many rights and revenues, so you don't have touring licenses, venue splits, platform deals. You can make partnerships with museums, with a lot of new areas and new disciplines that you can use in your work without renouncing to cinema, just adding and enriching your current tools. And here,
may I ask something? Sorry.
Yes, please.
The last slide. It's there is indications for C and VR. What is this brief for? What is the brief for these words or for this? Is it a brief for words? C.VR slash AR MR? What does this mean? I would like to know what is it indicated for.
In the QR codes, yours?
No, before the QR code, the slide that shows now.
So see, it's the third part of the presentation. I have 5 pillars: A, B, C, D, and E. So that is just the title of this part of the presentation. And so, VR, AR, and MR. These are all the innovative tools that can be used in cinema that we are talking about, including them in the XR world that I started discussing now. So they are all included in the XR case studies and in all the discussions that are going from this point on in the conversation.
I just wanted to make sure that maybe what they stand for, like the VR stands for virtual reality or
reality, augmented reality,
yeah,
and movie reality.
Okay, that's because I didn't know what do they stand for.
Okay, I understand now. So these are all the virtual, digital, augmented tools that are all included in the big family of the XR. Because as you can see also in the case studies that I gave you, I put also in the commas exactly which type of movie that is. So in the XR studies, you see you have the walls in the walls, that is a VR production. Then you have an A-line VR production, but then you have an AR documented type of production. So that's why they are different type of producing regarding to those specific tools.
Yes, thank you.
And before getting to AI, because that is the last part of the presentation, and if we have this discussion, then yes, let me tell you more about XR and what it stands for, because I think this is the discussion that is needed for you to better understand what this actually means and what it does as a production filmmaking tool. So why it is a parallel culture, the whole XR virtual world, and it is not a novelty. This is very important to not make this mistake. The core misunderstanding: XR is often treated as a technology demo, a festival sidebar, an experimental appendix to cinema, or something interesting but not scalable. This framing is structurally wrong. XR is not an extension of film. It is a parallel culture, economy with its own creators, production logics, exhibition infrastructures, funding streams, labor markets, audience behaviors, And aesthetic traditions, they already have their own aesthetics traditions. It overlaps with cinema, but it does not depend on it. And this is the plus that it brings. You are all professionals, you are all working in cinema. It doesn't mean that you lose something. It's about winning something very, very interesting in your activity. What defines a cultural economy? A cultural economy exists when a field has sustained production, specialized labor, dedicated venues and circuits, distinct funding and commissioning, repeatable distribution, audience loyalty and literacy. And XR meets all these 6 points, which means that cinema once had to fight for this recognition that now XR very fast overlaps and takes over. All the XR systems have their own production systems. So they different creative logic, story spatial, not linear. Dramaturgy includes agency, presence, embodiment, interaction design. Authorship is often collective. Writer, director, interaction designer, and technologist. There is not film plus tech. It is a different grammar of storytelling, different production roles. You have XR director, immersive director, interaction designer, spatial sound designer. We are going back to sound. We can talk about ambisonic, about Dolby surround. Ambisonic is very important in VR and in XR all over. Unity, Unreal developers, experienced producers, on-site technical producer for touring. The roles do not disappear after a prototype. They go on and develop careers, which is very, very nice from the budgeting point of view as well, and for helping out people to further develop. And very important, XR has its own exhibition infrastructure. We were talking about how difficult it is to get to these very known festivals. Well, with XR, you can get in on the back door because they have their own departments, their own sectors. Maybe you didn't got with your short or documentary film to the Venice Festival. You can definitely get to the Venice Festival with a VR production because it's much, much easier to get there.
Yes.
XR does not rely on cinema. It circulates through museums and galleries, festivals with immersive sections, touring installations, cultural centers, libraries, science centers, universities, site-specific public spaces, and venues invest in device fleets, trained staff, safety protocols, accessibility, workflows, and that is not a novelty. This is I already prepared to you a full list of XR and virtual festival lists, also with contacts where to pitch your movies for the long term. We have Venice Immersive, ITFA Doc Labs, Tribeca Immersive, New Images Festival, the XR SXSW, Sheffield, the Fest Alternate Realities, Cannes Immersive. You can get to Cannes through the XR sector. Very important. These are not side rooms. They are commissioning spaces, premier markets, career accelerators, international touring landscapes. And the project, it's not like a movie. An XR project can tour for years. You can have a fixed job on a very long term and has a different economy and values. Film economy value peaks at premiere, short theatrical window, revenue tied to screens and seats. XR economy, value accumulates over time. You can tour, license, reinstall. Revenue is tied to time on experience, capacity per day, installation lifespan. A single XR work may tour for 10, 30 venues, buy license repeatedly, generate income long after premiere. This is a slow cultural capital, not a box office logic. And this is one of my favorite parts. The XR audience, because they behave very differently. It's not your specific type of audience as you can see them in the cinema. They plan visits. They wait in line. They accept limited capacity. You never see them fight. Value intimacy and depth, often cross from museum to festival to theater. So it's not the box office blockbuster type of audience. They are smaller, but they are more engaged, more drives in age and background, more willing to pay for the experience. The amount the XR fan would pay, it is much higher than the simple cinema ticket. This is more closer to contemporary art and performance than to multiplex cinema. So this is already an intersectorial type of activity that can take you from the classical type of cinema to a whole new level. And why novelty framing in this specific case, it's harmful. When XR is treated as a novelty, it is underfunded. And we get back to the money. This is our biggest problem. Underprogrammed, poorly staffed, and judged by film criteria and evaluated on wow factor, not craft. And all the tech guys that are already working in this new aesthetics and new industry, they need recognition. They need to be critically acclaimed. They need to feel that they are truly artists and not always be treated like circus freak. Always when you present a VR production, everybody's looking for the wow factor. Everybody wants to say, oh, I have never seen this before. Well, you've seen this before because it is also an art form. You have to see the very detailed, beautiful things in it because it's the same as the cinema industry started at the beginning. We are opening a new line of art, and we shouldn't treat it so simplistically and underfunded. So I would like to end this part with the problem is not XR, the problem is wrong curatorship from my point of view.
Yeah. Do you ever work in such a projects?
I am working in VR mostly. I developed a lot of things in virtual reality. I would love to present all my work to you when we meet in Egypt, because for a very long time, I was the first one in Europe, and still, I think I'm the third or fourth worldwide who did full adaptations of theater performances in virtual reality. So we have two platforms, teatruvr.ro, which is our Romanian platform. You have it in the presentation, also the links. Yeah. And our international webpage is vr-hall.com, where you can see all our performances, split it into episodes, because that is the main issue in virtual reality when you put on the VR goggles or the Oculus and so on. The human brain doesn't accept more than 10 to 15 minutes. You get really tired, you have motion sickness, you start to feel bad physically if you stay in VR too long. So we did also a dramaturgical adaptation. We take the text, and from the actor's point of view, from the director's point of view, we changed everything. So it is split it into episodes. Every 50-minute episode can live on its own. You can watch it, then you put the headset off, you can take a break, and then when you move on to the second ambisonic because you had a problem with the sound, and which is very nice because the sound goes around with you in the virtual reality. So if an actor, you can hear him behind you, and you naturally turn your head. And also we developed the subtitling possibilities that reads your eye into the headset, and the subtitling moves with you, and you don't have the head moving problem. I developed all these things in the pandemic because I was very bored to stay at home and not work. And it was amazing because pandemic gave us this possibility to work without the pressure of time. I didn't have to come up with something in 2 weeks because I had a budget and 2 weeks to film. And I got to play around for, I think, over a year. And after that, I kept on filming and adding to the production part
That's a
of
great
it.
thing.
It's nice. It's a different world.
Yes.
So
All the best.
all our productions are free of charge. You just enter on the website, and the platform behind it is YouTube VR. So if you want to watch it in the Oculus, it is VR 360, which means that if you want to see it on a classical screen, you can watch around with the mouse, and it gives you spatially somehow the same sensation, but it's not the same experience. But if you want to put on the headset, then you should follow the links into the YouTube app and open it with the small VR glasses in the YouTube app, so it can generate the full 8K experience inside the headset. This was the biggest challenge because we filmed 8K, which is a huge amount of information. We needed a lot of servers, and the brute material that we filmed with the Insta Pro was enormous. So the editing part of it was the most challenging. Okay.
It sounds costly, or it's not. Sounds like it's not okay.
No. From the budget point of view, I did it with my personal pocket and salary from the theater, so I had no investment whatsoever. No, money-wise, it's cheap. Work-wise, it's a lot. So you know those 3 pillars that are interconnected, but in the same time they all are at opposite levels. You know,
yes,
quality, money, and time. You know this?
Exactly.
Yes, of course.
Well, it's the same. We didn't have money, but we had a lot of time during the pandemics, so they somehow helped each other out. Okay, and now we got to the last and most important tool. I won't sit on it too much, but I will let you put me all the questions that you want. My last part of the presentation was AI in film, but it's so huge. So now to enter this discussion about artificial intelligence, which is the highest point of innovation, I think we should stay here until tomorrow, and I don't know if we have that opportunity, but maybe we can meet up in different occasions and talk about AI. For me, it's unbelievable how you can use AI if you know how to make friends with it, and not using it as a substitute, not for 1 second, but for a collaborator and for a partner. So AI can help you in so many ways. I'm sorry to say, but only the paid ones. So if you download ChatGPT and then you pay for it, the difference is huge. So it has nothing to do until you have a prescription. You don't understand AI. AIs are very well developed for imaging, for sound, which can become a problem from all the deepfakes and so on. So there is a discussion about principles, moral issues. It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about. I like to use AI for specific works. For translations, I use Perplexity. He's the best friend if I need to talk in multiple languages. ChatGPT, the paid one, the premium one, it's amazing for data analytics, data collectives. If you know how to put the question in the relationship with the AI is most important how you train him. If you put the right questions, if you know what to ask from him, it's amazing. It can do all the work for you. The big problem with the AI is that he hallucinates. I don't have a better word than that. If he doesn't find an information, he wants to be so compliant that starts to invent. You ask him, and he says, okay, it's like that. If you don't know to extra check it, it can have very big problematic implications, because we are in movies. We are talking about author rights, authorizations, liability. If you rely on AI and he starts to speak crazy stuff and you don't double check it 10 times, it can be extremely problematic.
You're facing any problem of IPs for property editions? So the beginning, Sono was saying that and said, okay, if you are subscribed, you own the rights of using your music, but you don't own it completely. So as a producer, you find any problems with rights or IPs with AI?
I did.
Using in production?
I worked with it. My good friend is a music composer and works a lot with Sono, and he also had a very important contract in China, where they started to reduce his amount of work as a composer because they started to use the AI. It wasn't such a big project, so it wasn't a problem financially. It was they liked his voice as well, and when they worked together, he didn't do only the production part of the sound. He also gave his voice. And after this management mindset changed and the production was made through the AI, he got a call and said, okay, for how much you would sell us your voice as a sample? And he said, okay, why do you want to use it? Well, we just need some, you know exactly why they want the voice samples. And he said, okay, $100,000. What? Why? It's they probably thought that it's going to give them a couple of $1,000s of price. And he said, no, this is my price because my voice is unique. If you want my voice, that is my price, because after you used it once and you taught your AI to reproduce everything with my voice, I lose my work forever. So if I cannot use my own voice starting tomorrow, then my price is $1 million. In life, everything is a choice. There are things that AI can make great, but still human intervention, human accountability, human verification, double checking, these are the things that do it by itself, because he doesn't know how to double check himself. And if you don't have a very good understanding person there who can always use the AI as a partner, then that's it. At a specific point, the advantages start to become liabilities. And that is not just with Sono, that is also with Sora. So, yeah, it's the same thing. So yes, we can talk about AI a lot, but I don't think we have more time. And for the ending of our very, very nice and pleasant conversation tonight, you have all the XR Immersive Festival and Labs contacts on the slide, if Mariam can help me with that. So you have the Venice Biennale, the Tribeca. So I gave you all the contacts if you start working with these tools and you want to interact with these festivals.
And your email, right?
Yes. At the
your email too. Yes, okay.
Yeah, and then on the next slide, you have all the contacts for the sustainability organizations and initiatives if you want to check them out to help you in your work. And then you have the exercises. If you want to watch, you look at the QR codes with the XR, you answer yourself all the questions that we put together tonight. I will be very, very happy to meet all of you in Egypt and talk personally and answer to any questions that you might have.
Thank you so much, so much, Anna.
Thank you so much, man.
You really you touched on so many important aspects. If you have time, like only 5 minutes or maybe less, if anyone has any quick question, and then I will make sure to announce the event at AUC also. So all our 6 participants today, do you have any question? Anyone? I just want to give you the floor for 2 extra minutes. Do you have any question, please? If you have, just raise your hand.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Such a wonderful shukran.
Okay, Anna, yes, who wants to speak? Rehab?
Yes, Mariam.
Yes,
I would like to thank Anna very much. I believe that she have a lot to say, more than she told us. And I feel that it's very informative and too much knowledge. And we have to read the slides carefully, because it's really full of details. And as well, we need to see the movies that she recommended to watch it. So I believe that when we meet face to face, I think we will have some questions and valuable questions more than we have now. Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna, again for your generosity. Just for everyone who's attending now, except for Anan, because I know you are in Abu Dhabi, but Anna is going to be in Egypt February 4th. At AUC at 6 p.m. She is going to talk about the education and the importance of education in the film industry and other topics along with other guests. And prepare your questions.
AUC Tahrir?
Yes, AUC Tahrir. AUC Tahrir. And since I will not be in Egypt, I am sure if you meet any of our participants, you will be in good hands lots of questions. So prepare prepare yourself, Anna, to stay there for a couple of hours.
Mariam, are you here in Cairo at this moment? Or?
No, unfortunately no. But Anna will be in good hands, and if she sees you, she will be in extra good hands. So thank you, everybody. The session is recorded, so we might as well share this with you and the presentation. Thank you so much, and have
Thank
a
you,
great...
Anna, and thank you, Mariam,
Shukran.
for
Thank
this
you
It
so
was a
much.
pleasure.
whole
Thank you very much.
All of
information.
you. Thank
Mariam,
Yes,
you.
you
that's
are
full
wonderful. Thank
information.
you for
Thank you
this
so much.
have a great...
opportunity.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Thank you, Anna. We will not
Yes.
keep you. Khalas. Bye bye. We will
Hello.
talk.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Wa
guys.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
guys.
Bye.
Nice
Bye.
to meet you all, guys.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Yalla,
Bye.
inshallah.
Bye.
We meet
Bye.
again,
Bye.
inshallah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Anna, so we are here. We are here, me and you.
I don't know how to get out.
Good. Let me just stop the recording. Wait. Recording.
I'm